How you doing, guys? Welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 12th of February 2022. Just going to do a quick rundown on Binance and give you my thoughts, why I refuse to engage with it until I see something really convincing. And we'll kind of get a better idea of what the broader market's doing as well. I'll just quickly browse over Bitcoin again. But ultimately for me, I'm really keeping a close eye on Binance because obviously it affects the overall strength or weakness of a lot of the projects that we engage with on a daily basis and that we talk about. So I think it's important that we stay on top of it. So if we just go over to the charts, we can see the last time I was talking about Binance, or at least the last couple of times or previous times I was discussing Binance, the initial idea was for Binance to effectively come down to 320. That was going to be the first place I was going to be looking, to engage with Binance. And then obviously if it continued going lower, because at that point it would have, taken pretty much most of the liquidity in that area and have more chance to drive down into this daily area of liquidity down here. And then this would have been my second place of engagement in terms of around about sort of 285. But we haven't seen that. What we've seen instead was a little bit of a pop instead. And ultimately, the area up here, the one thing that I maintained and I did say is that I was absolutely not going to be looking to do anything with Binance up in these areas, right? I have been getting, some I don't want to say grief, but some, we'll say I've been debating basically with, a few people who are insisting, that the market is bullish, who are insisting that Bitcoin is going to start to run, that Bitcoin is strong and so on. But I refuse to subscribe to that belief yet until, as I've said, Bitcoin gets above 46,000, runs like I said in the Bitcoin video, stabilizes in this area, and then, gives me a much better idea of what it could potentially be doing going forward. But right now, as it stands, Bitcoin has absolutely 100% the ability to just drop, and go straight through this liquidity pool and just continue to go to 32, sub 30, and so on. This is not a pessimistic view. This isn't me thinking that, it's all doom and gloom. This is just looking at the way things are, and those who have an issue with charting, and you know who you are, I will say this to you. All you have to do is just look at the chart and just measure the ranges and try to get a better idea, from range to range, trend to trend on the weekly and the daily chart. And that will give you a much bigger picture of what could potentially be happening over the next 3 to 6 months. This is not day trading. Okay. This is day trading. Dropping down to the hourly and the 15-minute chart and looking to take a quick scalp, that's day trading. Okay. When you're on the daily or the weekly, that's something completely outside, of day trading. This is why swing traders and position traders and investors in banks and market makers and so on use the much higher time frames like the weekly and the daily, because they're looking for much larger trends. If you understand time, then you understand what I'm talking about. So in terms of going back to the overall market direction, again, anything can happen at any moment on Bitcoin, and I do not trust what I'm seeing. I just don't. Unless I see real conviction on Bitcoin, then the same, suit that follows on Binance, then I'm taking a step back and I'm doing nothing. I am currently sitting on my hands, and I'm just being really, really patient, because ultimately, if I buy Binance, for example, right now, it has the ability or the chance, we'll say it like this, to either go up, thus profiting, or down, thus, sitting on a loss. We're right in the middle of nowhere effectively. It's not enough to just say, well, it bounced a little bit. It can go either way. It could go up or it could go down. I would rather wait for price to go up, because think about it like this. If I buy Binance at 404, okay, for example, right, and it starts to run higher, all right, and then drops, okay, back to say 418, all right, then I might be up a little bit on my Binance. But the chance that it could keep going, maybe take out this low, maybe drive a little bit lower into this and then start to stabilize again and just give me a massive headache, is still quite high and still quite likely. Now, if Binance, for example, really starts to go and it hits, say, 470-ish, then it starts to pull back roughly to around about 430, I have so much more to work with. Yeah, because it's continuing this, what could potentially be a reversal. It's showing more indication that it wants to go higher. It's showing a little bit more momentum to the upside. Maybe Bitcoin is starting to run at that point, and the overall market is starting to do a little bit better. So it gives you more confidence to say, do you know what, I'd rather pick it up at 430 with confirmation than trying to grab it at 404 with, the off chance that it can go down as well. Yeah. So I'm trying to get that moment where it's like I have much more much more confidence in the ad that I'm about to do. So again, just being super patient, not in a rush, don't really care whether or not the market is going up or down right now. My concern is trying to find that moment in time on Binance where I can add to my position effectively. So I hope the video is welcomed, obviously, as always. I hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic day or evening wherever you are in the world. And I will be doing an update very soon, on the usual Evergrow coin. And I've got another episode of LSP TV coming soon as well, so keep an eye out for that. And with that said, I look forward to speaking to you guys very soon. All the best, and